Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in another video today, and today we have some breaking news in the NFL on Super Bowl week. Myles Garrett, six-time Pro Bowler, has decided to request a trade from the Cleveland Browns. Apparently, I heard this on ESPN. It was reported on ESPN that this is not something that surprised the Browns, and this is not something that it was a shocker to them. They knew this trade request was coming, and were aware of it way before it came out publicly. And now, first when this all came out this morning, the first we were hearing was they had no interest in trading him, and now we are hearing that they will listen to offers. And this is not a power play by Myles Garrett in order to try to get money. He just simply wants out of Cleveland and wants to win somewhere, and doesn't feel like he can do that in Cleveland. And I don't blame him. And I think if you're Cleveland, this has to be the best opportunity to trade Myles Garrett. When you're at the number 2 overall pick, this is the best opportunity, because you can go ahead and get a Myles Garrett replacement as Abdul Carter. I don't know if he's going to be as good as Myles Garrett has been, but this is your chance to get some crazy draft capital for a star like Myles Garrett and draft his replacement at number 2 with Abdul Carter. I know we've talked about quarterbacks with him, them getting potentially Deshaun Watson replacement, but I'd maybe give it one more year with Deshaun Watson. I'm not trying to defend Deshaun Watson at all, because I think he's terrible, but I think it is easier this year to replace Myles Garrett than it is Deshaun Watson. I think this quarterback class is weak. I think the quarterback class next year will be a lot better. This year you have a dominant defensive end or edge rusher in the draft class that Cleveland is in position to draft and would be an excellent replacement for Cleveland for replacing Garrett. I would say if you're going to trade Garrett and you're going to get a bunch of draft capital for Garrett, get Garrett's replacement this year with Carter by trading, trade him, get his replacement at number 2 with Carter, and then next year, if you're terrible again, you replace Deshaun Watson at quarterback in a draft class next year that will be a lot better at the quarterback position than this year. That's what I would do if I were Cleveland. I know it's another year of potentially being terrible with Deshaun Watson, but I don't think you want to waste a draft pick on this year's draft class when it comes to quarterback. And when you have a dual Carter right there, and he could be the replacement for Myles Garrett. But yeah. Now, something I want to point out that Adam Schefter said was that you try to trade comp it for what a couple years ago, what the Bears gave up for Khalil Mack when he was 27 years old. The Raiders got 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a 6th-round pick for 27-year-old Khalil Mack. Now, Garrett is 2 years older than Mack was when the Raiders traded him away. So I think that's a little bit different. So I don't know if he's worth 2 first-round picks and a third-rounder like Mack was. But I think it is definitely possible that you see a trade like that where maybe it's 2 firsts and a 6th-round pick, or maybe it's a first and a second and a third. I don't know. The Browns would definitely get some really good draft capital for Myles Garrett, 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, and defensive player of the year in 2023. Garrett this past season played 17 games, and in those 17 games had 3 forced fumbles, 14 sacks, 47 tackles, and 22 tackles for loss. And last year, when he won Defensive Player of the Year, he played 16 games with 4 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, which he returned for 1 yard, 14 sacks, and 42 tackles and 17 tackles for loss. He was the number 1 overall pick a couple years ago in 2017, and he's played a total of 8 seasons in Cleveland since 2017. And in those 8 seasons, he played 117 games. In those 117 games, he's reached over 100 sacks at 102.5. And so, yeah, he's had a great career with the Cleveland Browns. And now he gets the chance to potentially get a fresh start. And I think it might be the best thing for him. We'll see who potentially, goes out there and tries to get him. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about Garrett? wanting out of Cleveland. What do you think the Browns should do? Trade him and draft. What I think they should do if he wants out, respect his wishes and get rid of him while he has a lot of value. Get a lot of draft capital for him and get your replacement with Carter. Improve the team with the draft picks you get for Garrett, and give Deshaun Watson another season. And if he most likely is terrible, like everybody would expect him to be, Deshaun Watson might not play next year, actually. So I guess maybe give Jameis Winston another shot, give someone else another shot, whoever they decide to bring in to be the quarterback next year. And if they're terrible, and they get a top pick and draft a quarterback. Because next year's quarterback class is going to be a lot more interesting than this year's. And I think this is the perfect opportunity to draft a stud replacement for Garrett. Let me know your thoughts on the potential trade in the comment section, and peace out.